with your energy forecast for Tuesday, September 12th. So today we do have the moon in this Leo energy all day, but we will see the moon go void, of course, at 11:06 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we will not be locking into Virgo energy until the wee hours Wednesday morning. And of course, as we transition into the Virgo energy, we have to anticipate the new moon in Virgo, which will be taking place on the 14th. So we are going to have a day where we're still heart aligned, where we're being encouraged to kind of bump up our mood, our attitude, where we're encouraged to kind of adopt the attitude of gratitude. And we're really looking to kind of get to the heart and soul of the matter. We want to kind of be seen, be heard, the Leo energy, very playful, very semi-dramatic, very attention-seeking, if you will. We want validation for our efforts. We want to be recognized. We want to actually, I'm going to say, receive the credit when credit is due. So we're definitely going to have a lot of thoughts, a lot of feelings around those particular topics and themes. And with some of the aspects here today, we are going to refine what it is that our heart is asking us to pursue. So with 9 different aspects here today, 8 of them going to involve the moon. The moon is going to trine, beautiful interaction with Chiron, the wounded healer, who is retrograde in this Aries energy. This is fire on fire. And fire on fire means that we're burning through, burning down the cords, the structures, the old energies, the old version of self in order to initiate a brand new cycle where a spark, where a fire, where a flame, where excitement, where a passion is concerned. Now, this particular interaction is doing a lot of good for us to try and figure out who it is that we now are. Of course, we're letting go of certain aspects of self, certain aspects that old self has created. We've been struggling with our identity. This particular energy is getting us heart aligned. This is reminding us of who it is that we are, what it is that we've gone through, where it is that we have overcome certain struggles in order to emerge as this new version of self. So we're recognizing the growth. We're recognizing how much we've been able to kind of heal by going through what it is that we've been growing through. And of course, be very confident, be very bold, brave, and courageous enough to actually express ourselves, express what we're thinking, express what we're feeling, express what it is that we want to pursue from here. The moon is then going to interact with the sun, of course, in Virgo energy, shining a bright light on what it is that we have to embody, what we have to fix, what we have to solve, what we have to rearrange, what we have to restructure, where it is that we have to create order out of the chaos. Now, the moon, very representative of the past, of our emotions, of our intuition. The sun, very much the life force energy of what it is that we want to move into. This particular interaction is showing us where it is that we're coming from versus where it is that we desire to go. And the overlap is this present moment where we have choices to make. Yes, we want to act on our emotions. Yes, we want to really kind of pursue what it is that our heart is pushing us to pursue. However, the sun in Virgo energy needs us to do it in a logical, practical way, needs us to understand where it is that we have to provide new routines, new structures in order for us to build a proper plan, build a proper strategy in order for us to actually have a goal, a vision, a dream that we're working towards. The moon is then going to interact with Neptune, who is retrograde in his place of power in this Pisces energy, in a very positive way. I like this because it gives us an opportunity to receive some intuitive insight, some downloads, if you will. This is a reminder of what it is that we're working towards, what it is that we want to break away from. And of course, the moon in Leo gives us a lot of heat, a lot of fire, a lot of passion to not only kind of burn through the cord, the attachments that are keeping us locked down to the past, but also providing us with a fuel, with a fire, with an inspiration, with a desire to actually move on, to actually pursue something that we are currently being inspired and motivated to pursue. Now, granted, with all these planets in a retrograde, it may not be as clear as we would like at this particular point in time, but Neptune and the moon in Leo definitely putting us in an interesting vibe where we're receiving a lot of insight from our higher selves and activating our heart space, our heart chakra, to either let it go, to move on, to provide it with an ending and a closure, or to start building, creating a system, a structure, a plan, a strategy to actually move forward. The sun in Virgo energy going to make a positive interaction with the North Node in Aries energy. Now, this is a good vibe, I would say, because it is providing us with a little bit of insight, a little bit of a hint, a clue on what it is that we need to pour our time, energy, and attention into. Of course, we have spent, I'm going to say, the last 2 weeks really identifying the problems, being so close to the problems, to the issues, that we really can't see a resolution past the problems. But now that we've reached the halfway point of Mercury's retrograde and essentially Virgo season, now we're in problem solving mode. So the sun shining a bright light on what we have to fix, what we have to create order in, where we have to be a little bit more organized and structured and disciplined in order to actually build something, build a routine, build a habit, build a foundation for us to move forward on. That North Node in Aries is the soul path, our destiny point, the path that we need to be on in order to kind of reach our soul's mission, our soul's potential. And in this Aries energy, again, 18-month life lesson, karmically speaking, on where it is that we have to bust away from the old, bust away from the relationship dynamics that constantly has us putting our own wants, needs, and desires on the back burner in order for us to put ourselves first, really grounding, centering ourselves in who it is that we currently are and what it is that we have a passion and a desire to pursue. So the last aspect that the moon in Leo is going to make before going void, of course, is a square. Not such a happy interaction with Uranus, who of course is retrograde in Taurus energy. Uranus is the great awakener. He likes to zap us, disrupt us, shock us, show us where it is that a dramatic shift is needed, a spontaneous change is needed in order to break away from the old, again, fixed Taurus earth energy, in order for us to build something more supportive, more stable, more safe, more secure, providing us with an opportunity to invoke more happiness, more joy, more pleasure. However, this is not a good interaction. They're getting in the boxing ring, they're fighting it out, and this means that there's probably more confusion than there is clarity. There's probably more holding on to the old than there is breaking away from it. There's probably a lot of anxiety around knowing what it is that we're being asked to change in ourselves and our physical realms, but not wanting to actually take action to do that. So we're struggling here with what it is that our heart is wanting us to do, asking us to pursue, and of course a dramatic shift, a dramatic change is needed in order for us to advance forward on our path, on our plan, in really pushing us to orient to what it is that is exciting, that we have a new passion for, a new inspiration for. We're really struggling to be bold and brave and courageous enough to do the hard things that will free us from the restrictions, from the confines of the elements of the past, and give us an opportunity to advance ourselves forward towards a new goal, new dream, new vision. So this is when the moon goes void. And we're going to have pretty much the rest of the day with the moon being void, of course, which does kind of trigger a lot of anxiety, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of head pressure, a lot of heart activations. We do have the moon in Leo energy void, of course, trining with the North Node in Aries energy. This is a good energy. And so what we're getting here is a little tiny glimpse of a step forward, a hint, a clue on where it is that we should be contemplating and building ourselves up to taking a step, to making a move in the right path in a different direction than what it is that we've been currently traveling. The moon is going to semi-square, creating a little bit of a tension and a conflict with Mars, the god of war, ruling over our physical energy, our drive, our passion, our desires, who's currently in Libran energy, which he absolutely hates because he's stuck in the intellectual battlefield. He has no weapon, he has no force, he has no action, he has no assertiveness to actually, kind of tap into to progress himself on a path closer to his goals, visions, and dreams and desires, because he's got to think about it. And he's super and hella indecisive because that's what the Libran energy does. And right now, although we're dealing with a certain element of craziness and chaos, we're actually working overtime, whether you realize it or not, to keep the peace, to maintain this particular circumstance so that we don't push things to fall further apart, if you will. Now, the moon interacting with Mars in this way likely going to bring up some frustration, Likely going to bring up some anger on where it is that we're not happy, where we're not feeling like we are being supported in making a decision, where it is that we're lacking information and details to make the decision, where it is that we're not feeling as well equipped, as well prepared as we should at this particular point to make the dramatic changes that our heart space is asking us to make. The moon is then going to interact with Neptune, who, of course, is retrograde in Pisces energy. This time, although we had a positive interaction earlier in the day, this one, not so nice. This one is illuminating where it is that now, especially according to earlier in the day, where we were being reminded of the vision, of the dream, of the goal, where we were receiving some higher intuitive insights on what that path and plan may be. This one, we're questioning everything. We're actually afraid. We're scared of what it is that we're going to have to do to actually align with the path, with the plan that we earlier in the day were pretty confident, pretty passionate, pretty inspired to actually go ahead and pursue. So this is where things kind of fall apart, so to speak. Even more than that, the moon in Leo goes ahead, makes a difficult interaction with Pluto, the great transformer, who is retrograde in Capricorn energy. And this is going to illuminate the fear, the doubts, the insecurities. Remember, Pluto's whole kind of MO is to make us sit in the funk, make us sit in the darkness, make us be very aware of the pain in order for us to alchemize it into something better. We turn the pain into power. We turn the darkness into light. We turn that shadow into an illumination on where it is that we can empower ourselves from the circumstance, from the storyline that has had us pretty kind of, I'm going to say, unmotivated, very fearful, very uncertain about where it is that we plan to go from here.